Good afternoon, anybody that's interested. You're not YouTube, but I'm using the YouTube platform to make this video. You're people, you're not YouTube. Anyway, that's just a pet peeve of mine, people calling us YouTube watchers YouTube when we're not, we're people. But anyway, here we go. On to the story I had the other day about my electrical problem between here and my shop. I don't know if you remember, I thought I had a problem because I had a radio transmitter that would send a signal down one of these wires, and it would lose. And then there was a receiver, I should say. After you send the signal down the wire, there's a receiver that would receive the signal, and if there was too far away from the broken wire, from the wire, you wouldn't receive the signal. So you knew you were not near enough the wire to get the problem with finding a broken wire. This broken wire still made a contact. The ends were touching together enough that it was sending, it had electrical connection clear to the other end, even past the break, but it wasn't enough connection to run anything. It didn't carry enough current to run anything at all, not even a light bulb, but it was enough to show voltage, and so it would transmit that radio signal, and it was inconsistent. I thought I had it right here, but then I dug it up and everything looked good, and I wasn't comfortable with what I was getting. And I'd test it down there and I'd get different results. I says, I need a voltmeter that will read without actually touching the wire. So I went to Lowe's, I think it was, got a good quality tester that's made so that you can stick it in your light socket and see if there's power there without actually having it's insulated on the end, so it's not actually making physical contact, but it would read voltage, and it was supposed to be so that it would only read it if it was above 70 volts up to 1,000 volts, which, this supposedly after the break was only, it was less voltage. But I still had a problem because it was still showing voltage on the bad side, because it was so easy to read it that tester would read the voltage anyway. So I had to figure out a way. What I ended up doing was that tester needed a definite yes or no. So what I ended up doing was grounding the one that's broken, the one that I knew was the weak one. I figured out which one the weak one was real easily, because it showed less voltage, but it still showed voltage. It showed less voltage at the other end over here in the shop. So I took that wire and I grounded it, and then I put power on it anyway. Over here at the source, I put power to it on one end and I grounded it on the other end. So my voltmeter, yeah, see there, I dug down and found the wire, and everything looked good right there and tested good. But anyway, I grounded that wire that I knew was bad, so that anywhere on the bad side of the break, anywhere past the break, we'll say, it would show no voltage. I was confident that would happen, and I did that, and sure enough, it showed no voltage with that new wireless or no touch tester that I bought. So then I just picked a spot out here that I thought, well, okay, I'll try it right here. I dug a spot here, and I put the tester. You've got to have you've got to almost touch the insulation, but you don't have to cut through the insulation. So it'll read, if you got an insulated wire, it'll read the voltage through it. if you don't have too much dirt around it, I decided. So anyway, I found power here. So I dug a little further out, and for some reason I didn't think I found power here. The machine, I decided you got to be careful how you operate that voltmeter. You got to have the dirt away from the. But anyway, I dug a hole here, and I thought, sure enough, I don't have any here. So anyway, I've only got what, the hole over there by the source, two more there, two more holes there, and I dug one here, and the tester, I would be running the tester down the wire, and I found the power, and then I ran it another inch or two and it didn't show any power. So I dug a little further, and as I was cleaning off the edge of the wire to look at it a little better, it tickled me. Okay, I think I found a problem here. So well, that looks like some of my dirt is caved in, so you can't see the damaged spot. But I did find the power. The problem, there was a piece of metal in that sand that I missed. You know, this establishment around here used to be a lot different than it is now. A lot of junk, and you know, got buried over the years. But anyway, I must have missed a piece of metal. I think it laid on top of that and broke through the insulation and corroded the wire clear through right there at that spot. Yeah, but it was a challenge, but we did find it without the thousands of dollars worth of equipment that the electric company probably would have used. So now I've got some splices. I've got to get down there and fix it. Yeah, not fun, but here we go.